This is the exact point where things become truly risky for them. They suddenly sense a massive, empty space where your constant attention and your vibrant energy used to be. It is a space they never even realized was there until you were the one filling it. Now that the space is vacant, it feels wide and open, and it is looming over them. They are simply not used to dealing with such quiet, heavy moments. So, naturally, they start to panic, even without knowing exactly why they feel so unsettled. If you want the full psychological truth about what happens when you finally stop chasing, hit the like button right now. Most people do not understand this part of the process at all. Your absence is not really just an absence in their mind. It actually works like a mirror instead. It shows them all the things they never wanted to face about themselves. They realize deep down in their gut that their previous feeling of total power and control over you has suddenly and completely disappeared. And what exactly happens when that sense of control vanishes? Their inner mind grows restless and deeply uneasy. It turns desperate in ways they cannot easily explain to anyone else. It starts to whisper those uncomfortable truths they feel way too embarrassed to accept openly. Those heavy truths they manage to avoid during the busy hours of the day come rushing back to bother them the moment they lay down at night. They begin to wonder if they actually wanted you for your true self, or if they just wanted you for how you made them feel important in their own lives. And now that you are no longer there to provide that validation, that false image they built of themselves starts to break down entirely, but they cannot see it fully yet in their waking, conscious thoughts. Their mind feels completely divided between what they hope for and what they are truly terrified of. That inner division drives them to a kind of quiet, internal madness they cannot easily name. They begin picturing your life moving forward without them in it. Every single laugh you share with others, every smile you give to someone new, and every moment you spend not thinking about them starts to hurt them in a very silent, piercing way. And here comes the truly difficult part that surprises so many people. It is not only longing that they feel. There is also a toxic blend of anger mixed in, along with fear and a deep gnawing guilt that they cannot seem to sort out properly. It shows up in strange behaviors that seem irrational or even risky at times. Most people never face these kinds of intense feelings head-on. They desperately try to run away from the discomfort instead. They act like it does not exist at all, pretending that everything is perfectly fine. But you have brought all of that into the open simply by pulling back, by stepping away and letting them sit with that massive, empty space they were never ready to confront. Something deep and basic finally wakes up inside of them. Something that was hidden under many layers of self-deception starts to stir quite strongly. That inner voice which stayed quiet for so long now grows incredibly loud. It tells them that they cannot lose you and that they cannot let you go easily. They start meticulously remembering every single conversation, every text message, every look, and every small, seemingly insignificant moment shared between you. They examine themselves quite closely, and they examine you too. They try incredibly hard to find the exact point where they might be able to pull you back into their orbit again. And here is the part that feels most frightening to them. They will feel an overwhelming, strong need to do something about it. Not always in a logical or planned way, but sometimes suddenly and without thinking at all. Because the human mind dislikes loose ends and uncertainty more than almost anything else. You have created the biggest, most profound kind of uncertainty for them. You might not notice it yet from your side. You could easily believe that this silence feels peaceful and that your absence causes no harm. But absence, when used in the right way, becomes one of the strongest and most influential forces possible. The very moment they understand that they cannot make you chase them anymore is when their outer, put-together image starts to crack. Once that image finally slips away, everything they kept hidden begins to come out into the light. All the things they pushed down and denied for years start rising up to the surface. And that is the risky part, because the calm and cool person you see on the outside is no longer who they actually recognize in themselves anymore. They will struggle to make sense of it, even when finding that understanding feels completely impossible. In your silence, you have become the center of their entire inner breakdown. But here is what keeps the story going, because what comes after this is something they cannot guess in advance. Even they do not fully know what is coming next themselves. This is where we end the first part for now. The silence you made is not really empty at all. It acts like a giant mirror showing everything they have been avoiding. And that reflection is finally getting ready to speak loudly to them. They cannot stop thinking about it, not because they choose to, but because the empty space you left behind simply refuses to be forgotten. Comment the word "stopped" if you have walked away and felt them starting to unravel. Here is the truth they keep secret, even from their own private thoughts. Absence feels much more scary than direct rejection in so many ways. Rejection has a clear, defined shape, and you can see it plainly for what it is. Absence, however, feels like complete, total disorder instead. It is like an empty void where their deepest, darkest worries paint themselves freely. And this is where everything starts getting complicated for them. They begin to notice every small, tiny detail they completely missed before. Every break in a conversation, every slow reply, every smile that does not involve them starts to become incredibly important. Each small pullback in your attention hits their inner mind like a heavy, physical blow. They replay moments that seemed completely unimportant at the time. That one joke you enjoyed without them there. That quick, fleeting look you gave someone else. That one message you did not answer right away. All of it plays over and over again in their head like a movie they cannot turn off. In that constant, exhausting replay, they start finding patterns, or at least what they truly believe are patterns. Their thoughts are desperately trying to create some kind of meaning out of it all. Their fragile pride simply cannot handle unclear situations. And unclear situations are exactly what you gave them by stepping back. Here is the quiet, growing fear that develops in them. They start doubting their own past choices. Did they judge you totally wrongly? Did they push you way too much? Did they fail to value you when they actually had the chance to keep you? Every hidden doubt comes up like an old, unwanted ghost visiting their mind. Most people do not realize that the human mind does not simply accept loss quietly. It looks for ways to fix it instead. When no real fix appears, it makes one up entirely on its own. It creates complex stories, reasons, and false explanations just to get back some feeling of control. And how does that show up in them at first? It starts in small, subtle ways, like a quick, nagging wish to contact you or a quiet, obsessive interest in what you are doing. Then it grows stronger with repeated, intrusive thoughts and vivid dreams about changing what happened. Regrets become so painful that they feel sharp and bitter. They start feeling trapped by their own inner thoughts because your distance has set off something very basic and primal in them. The understanding that they cannot get what they want through pressure, clever tricks, or simple charm anymore. And this is usually the point where many people start to fall apart in their thinking process, because the human mind is not made to stay comfortable with having absolutely no control. Deep inside, they wrestle with a hidden, nagging worry that they might lose you for good. Drop a comment if this is exposing how their subconscious mind panics when you go silent. This worry does not follow clear or logical thinking. It works on old, ancient instincts from the deepest, most hidden parts of the mind, the parts that want to shout, reach out, and demand answers immediately. And here is the difficult truth that many people choose to avoid. Their inner mind begins making dangerous plans without asking their normal, rational thoughts for permission. They might tell themselves they need to prove they care more, or that they need to find a way to make you pursue them again. These are the parts they have kept hidden away for many years. These are the parts they feel far too shy to admit even to their own private thoughts. These are the parts that speak softly during the quiet moments of the night, whispering that they feel weak, that they are not enough, and that they desperately want the very things they cannot easily obtain. Most people will try to escape these painful feelings as fast as they possibly can. They will look for mindless distractions or try to explain the nagging worry away with cold, hard logic. But this is not the kind of thing that logic can ever truly fix. This is a deep, direct, and overwhelming inner panic that is slowly leaking into their daily life. And here is the exact point where things can change very quickly. The longer you stay away from them, the stronger their inner disorder becomes. They start to notice small details about you that they completely ignored before. They notice the way you move with newfound confidence, the way you smile freely without needing them there, and the way your days continue to move forward smoothly. Every new observation feels incredibly painful to them. Every new understanding adds more weight to their inner pressure, yet they remain stuck, caught somewhere between fear and a very strong, burning desire. They are stuck between what they want so badly and what they are actually ready to accept openly. In that frozen, stuck place, they begin creating elaborate situations in their mind that they never even imagined possible before. They have dreams of having power over you again, dreams of coming back together, and even dreams of getting even with you somehow. Because your act of stepping back has finally shown them the honest, undeniable fact. You are not theirs to direct, and you were never yours to own. You never really were. And that cold, hard fact feels like a direct, damaging blow, mainly to them. And here is the open question we must leave for now. They are completely alert now, even if they are not yet fully aware of what is happening to them. Their own inner mind has turned against them in some significant ways, and they have absolutely no idea where it will lead them next. The trouble has officially started, and you are sitting right at the center of it. They are starting to break apart without even noticing it fully just yet. It begins in small ways, such as an unexplained tightness in their body or a sudden, sharp feeling of worry that catches them by surprise. But it keeps on growing and spreading. A steady, humdrum panic enters into every single idea, every urge, and every moment they experience. Here is the hard truth they must eventually face. Your absence is not just an empty nothingness. It acts as a large, unforgiving mirror that they cannot turn away from, no matter how hard they try. And what they see in that mirror scares them to their very core. They see their true self without any of the usual masks or covers. They see their hidden weakness, their strong, unmet needs, and their deep-seated fear of having to depend on someone else. Type the word mirror if you have personally seen your absence turn into their own worst nightmare. They feel genuinely upset by their own desperate wishes. For a very long time, they hid behind false ideas of being in charge, being better than others, and not needing anyone at all. And by simply pulling back, you have removed those false ideas without any big effort on your part. Most people falsely believe that facing someone down requires direct, loud action. They are fundamentally mistaken about that. Stepping away is actually a much more powerful way to force them to face the truth. Staying silent can be incredibly strong too. Refusing to chase them becomes the strongest, most influential way of all. Now, their inner mind comes alive in a very powerful way. All the wishes they buried deep down start to come forward. All the false stories they told themselves about how they felt about you rise up to the surface. All the pride and the stubborn refusal they used as a shield surge forward like a massive, unstoppable wave. They begin feeling a strange, intoxicating mix of strong want and intense anger at the very same time. Care is mixed with worry, and their wishes are tangled up with deep regret. They might find themselves staring blankly at their phone with their fingers hovering, ready to send you a message. They are shaking with the internal knowledge that they really should not reach out, but they feel completely unable to resist the urge fully. In that moment of uncertainty, the crack forming inside of them grows even deeper. Because every person has dark corners filled with hidden worries and secret, selfish wishes. When the world starts to act in a way that is beyond their control, those dark corners grow larger and larger. They start to push out, desperately looking for some kind of way out. They may try to act calm, cool, and perfectly reasonable on the outside, but their inner mind does not know how to pretend. It speaks to them quietly. It pulls on them strongly. It keeps bothering them day and night. And through your consistent absence, you have started that deep psychological pull within them. They begin creating mental pictures that feel very real and very powerful. They see you enjoying your life without them, moving forward, and not thinking about them at all. Each of these mental images hurts their pride in a way they cannot ignore. Each one serves as a sharp reminder that they cannot force you to do anything, and that they cannot take back what you have chosen to hold back. And here is the most risky part of all for them. This is the exact moment when repeated obsessive thoughts and a singular focus can begin to develop, because the human mind dislikes empty spaces more than it dislikes the feeling of pain itself. The human inner self cannot remain with absolutely nothing without trying to make up some kind of meaning for it. When no clear meaning is offered to them, they create one quickly. They will start thinking of various reasons, motives, and possibilities. They will go over every single past conversation with great, painful detail, looking at every small, trivial thing. Every memory becomes like a sharp point turned toward themselves. Every question they ask themselves and every mental story they construct reflects the fear that is hiding behind their normal, everyday thinking. Somewhere deep below the surface, basic primal drives take over. The part of the mind that existed long before social rules and clear thinking, the part that simply wants things and reacts instantly, begins to make complex plans. These plans are not made in their open, conscious thoughts, but in much deeper, darker ways. And you, regardless of your physical distance, remain at the center of that inner storm for them. They may feel a sudden, intense push to contact you just to check on things or to try and stir up some kind of reaction, because when the reality of your absence finally reaches the inner mind, the concept of control feels very strange and very far away. Their natural want and their mounting worry start to take over their ability to think clearly. Their inner self breaks down under the weight of what it cannot manage, and the pressure continues to build because they cannot simply let it go completely just yet. Every single sign of your independent life hitting their radar hurts them hard. Every update or every slight sign of your world continuing without them cuts deeply into their composure. And the most painful part of this is that you cannot see this violent storm happening inside of them. They are spinning in their own thoughts, trapped in an inner chaos that you started simply by moving back and living your life. Comment the word vacuum if you have personally felt them desperately trying to fill the space you left behind. This is not just a regular case of emotional hurt. It becomes a heavy, crushing mental pressure that completely changes how they see everything around them. It makes their focus on you much stronger and enlarges every single one of their weaknesses and worries. And the hardest thing for them to deal with is that they truly do not understand why they feel this way. Their normal, logical thinking tries to stay reasonable, but the deeper, more primal mind has already taken charge of the situation. They have become totally caught up in the uncertainty you created, in the unknown, and in the silence that feels much louder and more deafening than spoken words ever could. And still, they show absolutely nothing obvious on the outside, at least for now. The trouble just keeps on building quietly inside of them. And this is where we end this part of the discussion. Standing on the very edge of falling apart, their thoughts feel unsteady and frantic. Their want is mixed with a deep, consuming worry. Their secret wishes feel spoiled by waves of regret. Their strong focus has grown completely free and entirely unstoppable. They are dangerously close to their breaking point. And when the mind gets to this specific stage, being almost at the point of breaking can lead to a very big change or to complete, total disorder. And the absolute center of their entire confusion is you. This is the exact moment they are moving toward, even if they have no idea it is coming. Your absence has done its quiet, necessary work slowly and without any fanfare. Your conscious choice not to chase them has effectively taken apart the reality they thought they were managing so well. Now, the outer cover they wore is gone completely. I wanted them, but they were never mine to chase after. And now I finally see that the person I have been avoiding all this time is actually just myself. Like this video, Comment which part scared you the most about their inevitable unraveling, and subscribe to this channel for more dark, real, and helpful psychological truths.